YouTube is a pretty weird monster. When I hopped on the Pokemon Challenge video bandwagon, I never really intended it to be the main thing on the channel. I've got basic video game reviews, top 10s, sorts of other things like that on the channel, all predating challenge videos. And it would be absolutely ridiculous to try something other than the Pokemon videos at this point, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to just do Pokemon videos. So here's a Pokemon video. But not just any other Pokemon video. So instead of a video about playing Pokemon over and over, here's just a video about Pokemon. So, what are Pokemon categories? We all know Pokemon have different types. That's one of the first things you notice about the game. But have you ever noticed this right here, assuming that I have it on screen? When you catch a Pidgey on Route 1, it says the tiny bird Pokemon. That's not the same thing as flying type. These are names that the Pokemon have as their category types. They're based on different biological characteristics based on the Pokemon. They're even located on most Pokemon cards right underneath the picture, like this one right here. Look at that, right there. Farfetch'd, the wild duck Pokemon. And let me tell you, this dude is wild. Totally unrelated, you may be wondering why I have so many Farfetch'd cards. They're all from the Pokemon X and Y Evolution set, which was the base set reprint in X and Y series. Well, these are a rare card. A rare Farfetch'd. So Farfetch'd may be the wild duck, but I guess that makes me a lucky duck. I got the idea to talk about these Pokemon categories a while back, and today we're just going to be looking at Gen 1. Which is going to be a big shocker if you're a constant viewer of the channel. But I'd really like to make a series out of this so I can look at the other generation of Pokemon. Here's just a few of them that I thought were really interesting after looking at it for a little bit. Let's start out with Staryu and Starmie. What's the first thing you notice? Stars. Probably. They're stars. Staryu is listed as the star-shaped Pokemon in the Pokédex, and that just makes sense. It's shaped like a star. So, Starmie is probably the double star, right? That's where you're wrong. Starmie is listed as the mysterious Pokemon. The whole shape of this thing is a mystery. The jewel, that gold thing in the middle, and also, what shape is this? It's so mysterious. It's gonna haunt me till my dying days. What shape is Starmie? On the topic of water types, let's take a look at Squirtle. Squirtle, standing at a whopping 1 foot 8 inches, is the tiny turtle Pokemon. Now I live in Tennessee. Most of the turtles around here aren't even that big, but by Pokemon standards, that's pretty small. Wartortle is 3'3", and it's just the turtle Pokemon. So that makes sense, it's not really tiny anymore, it's grown a bit. But Blastoise. Blastoise is probably the large turtle, or big turtle Pokemon, right? 5'3". That's a little bit shorter than me. I guess that's only about right here, but still, that's a whole lot bigger than the other ones. I hope you're ready for this, because Blastoise is the shellfish Pokemon. The shellfish. I get the shell part, but the fish. Blastoise ain't a fish. Blastoise isn't the only Pokemon with this category though. The two that come to mind most commonly are Shelder and Cloyster. But they are actually the bivalve Pokemon. I'm not a marine biologist, but I guess that makes sense, although I feel like they should be the shellfish Pokemon too. So, what are the two Pokemon then? Blastoise shares its category with Kabuto and Kabutops. Now, again, the shell part makes sense. The domes are kind of shelly, but I don't understand the fish part still. The Pidgey line is super close to the Squirtle line. Pidgey is just the tiny bird Pokemon. And Pidgeotto is the straight-up bird Pokemon. But they knew they couldn't make Pidgeot the big bird Pokemon. They knew that its stats would be through the roof with a category like that, and had to even the playing field. Pidgeot is simply the bird Pokemon. Nothing weird with Blastoise going on right there. Now I want to have a science lesson with some nice little fun facts sprinkled in every little bit. Ekans and Arbok. Both poison types, very slender, very poisonous and sinister, known for slithering around. Well, I hope you're ready for this. Ekans is classified as the snake Pokemon, and Arbok is classified as the cobra Pokemon. Now, here's a little known fact. If you write the words Ekans and Arbok backwards, you know what you'll find? What you find is a transcript of the missing Watergate tapes based on the illegal Pokemon breeding that was taking place at the time. The government is just trying to cover it up. You can follow me at wokepokefacts.pikachu for more things like this. The Leaning Tower of Pisa? Just a Stakataka turned sideways. Weedle is the hairy bug Pokemon. Hairy bug. Hairy. The Geodude line is a little different. Geodude and Graveler are just plain old rock Pokemon. That makes sense. They're rock ground types, everything checks out here. It would make sense if Golem was a little similar, but instead it's the Megaton Pokemon. I feel like that's a tiny bit of an exaggeration of a classification. Maybe the Super Rock Pokemon, or even the Mega Rock Pokemon, but no, Megaton. Anytime I hear the word Megaton, I think of Hercule from the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. In those games when he did a combo, it always sounded like he was saying Megaton Blast Attack, which I went back to get the audio for this video, and it doesn't sound like he says that at all. So never mind. But now that you mention it, Hercule's afro looks a little bit like a golem, if we're really being honest. There's a lot of human-shaped Pokemon out there, but there's only one that has the human-shaped Pokemon category, and it's Jynx. Jynx. I mean, I guess the intention of this isn't to body shame, but I feel like there's a few other Pokemon that fit human-shaped a little bit better, honestly. Rattata and Raticate, rat Pokemon, right? Wrong. They're mouse Pokemon. Pikachu is a mouse, and Sandshrew is really a shrew, but the mouse category makes a little bit more sense here than Rattata and Raticate. Now let's take a time machine back to the 90s for a second. Pokemon was hinting at the fairy typing long before X and Y. Clefairy has its typing in the name, and Clefable doesn't, but they were both the fairy Pokemon in Generation 1. Keep in mind, this was long before they were actually fairy-type Pokemon, so it's not like they were actually hinting at anything. At least they didn't pull a Rattata thing and say it's the Pixie Pokemon or something ridiculous like that. Horsey and Seadra had something similar to Clefairy and Clefable happen. They are both the Dragon Pokemon, and that makes a little more sense, especially considering what happened in Generation 2, where Kingdra came into existence. I've always thought seahorses looked more like dragons anyways, so this just seems like a logical naming convention to me. Now there's only a few legendary Pokemon in Kanto, compared to at least Sinnoh and Unova at least. But of the legendary Pokemon, none of them are the legendary Pokemon. That title belongs solely to Arcanine. Now it is a little more legendary than most Pokemon if we're being honest, and everyone's seen that mural from the anime where it's with the legendary birds, and Arcanine is based on those lion statues typically in front of buildings that are said to keep out evil spirits. And I remember it being the first Pokemon card I ever saw that had 100 HP. I don't want to mince words. I think Arcanine is pretty legendary if we're being honest. But speaking of legendary, specifically the birds, let's take a look at Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Now the Cantonian forms are nothing interesting. Freeze, Shock, and Flame respectively basically fit the bill. But the Galar forms, there's some interesting stuff there. Galarian Articuno is the cruel Pokemon. Now, there's nothing in its Pokédex entry we're talking about being cruel. I haven't finished the Crown Tundra DLC, so maybe there's something I'm missing, but cruel seems a little bit extreme. Moltres is the malevolent Pokemon, but at least its Pokédex entry talks about it having a sinister aura. Zapdos is the strong leg Pokemon. What's so evil about skipping leg day? The Japanese names of these categories aren't anything different. Articuno is the ruthless Pokemon, Moltres is literally straight up the evil Pokemon, And Zapdos is the good walker. It even got a downgrade from having strong legs. I have never looked at somebody and legitimately said, yo, you are a good walker, and meant that statement. I made a video about a year ago that you can check out right here where I retyped a bunch of Generation 1 Pokemon that probably should have been Dark types. Gyarados was the first one I thought of, and it's the atrocious Pokemon. In Japan, the Dark type is literally just called the evil type. I think that fits it perfectly. At least they fixed that with Mega Gyarados. And let's end this off with Meowth and Persian, but just the Cantonian forms. Meowth is the Scratch Cat Pokemon, so it's at least Ted Nugent approved. But Persian is the Classy Cat Pokemon. Persian is the 1%. The Pokédex in yellow states, and I quote, "With all the grace and elegance of a proud queen, I'll have your finest Pokéchow, fitting only for royalty." That's really all there is for the Generation 1 Pokemon that originated in Kanto. Most of them have pretty fitting names, but some of them kinda stuck out to me. The main one being Blastoise, in all honesty. Is there one that I should have included on this list, but didn't for some reason? Let me know down in the comments below. Until next time, just remember, what shape is Starmie? Legitimately, I just knocked over so many things. This is crazy. I can't even draw, and I drew this. I don't know what Starmie is. What shape is this thing? I can't believe I knocked that over.